57 out of 100. Oh, oops. It says I should say it at the end of the video, not the beginning of the video. Duh, I'm a dumbass. It's not like I run my own channel and I can do whatever I want. And that it's just a number that no one cares about. I mean, I don't even put it half of the time and none of you even notice. Anyways, it's one of these ranking thingies that I do, that I love to do. Also, my mic works now. So you probably already know the drill. This season should be fun and lighthearted. It isn't. There's not many new hits. It's all stuff that hasn't gone the fuck away yet. And the new stuff is kind of dour and tired. Hey Timmy, what was your favorite hit song of 2019? I don't know. I think it's the one that goes like I've kind of wasted my whole spiel about the state of the charts in my Old Town Road review a couple of weeks ago, which you should totally check out because it's pretty good if I say so myself. So instead, I'm going to mention something I haven't talked about. 2019 has been the year of collaboration so far, and sadly like 90% of them haven't worked at all and it's embarrassing. So I guess this is a special collab edition of the top 20 ranking. I didn't actually invite anyone to make this a collaborative video because I'm not that clever. In honor of this, I'm going to give the official Bad Collaboration Poop Award to every bad collaboration on this list. And also the Good Collaboration Golden Medal, I guess. It's not like I'm gonna give it to any song here. I'm just stalling, I have no clue what to do with my life.
Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie.
Yes! Finally! It's been so goddamn long! Most of the bad hits this year have either left very quickly or they aren't even that horrible honestly, but I can finally say that we have just an undeniably awful smash hit on our hands, ladies and gentlemen and non-binary folk. I'm just fucking appalled who let this happen. I am so happy at how angry I can be at a song again, it's been a while. This shit was good for like the first 2 listens, but it became annoying in record time. It's like the amalgamation of every music trope I hate: dance instructions songs, bad country, whistling, fake voices, deep without film, empty production that feels like it was made in an hour, cheesy, corny annoyance. And I guess trend writing is something I hate now. More like trend write till I can no more. Yeah, this was supposed to be Nashville's response to Old Town Road, but it was more like the DCU to Lil Nas's MCU. And to be clear, the MCU isn't perfect at all and it has overstayed its welcome, but at least not this shit. Or this shit. It has no the magic of Old Town Road, it's manufactured corporate garbage and doesn't even have the decency to sound any good. Fuck this shit. Unless this year gets like 8 terrible hits and 0 seconds flat, I guaranteed luck for the worst hit. Fuck this.
I don't wanna play no games, play no games.
I'm not one of those people who sings a Chris Brown song and immediately gives it a bad score, but this song would be infinitely better if it was sung by anyone else who isn't Chris Brown. And the only reason it hit the top 10 is because of the novelty of him working with Drake, I guess. It's amazing how Brown can have all the vocal range in the world, while Drake has virtually none at all. And yet the latter has a way better voice. Drake is the most one-note singer ever, yet he makes better R&B than Chris Brown. As for the song itself, besides the fact that they have no chemistry, it's just a super standard crooner that goes on for way too long and feels like it has been done a million times before. I don't hate it, but I don't care for it. I only put it in the bad tier because I needed one song in the bad tier and this was a Chris Brown song, so let's move on.
Why men gray till they gotta be gray? Don't text me, tell it straight to my face.
Okay, now lyrically I am 100% Team Lizzo. She's a strong, beautiful woman with an energetic personality and her writing is exceptionally unique. I have no problem with anything she's saying, including in this song. There are some great lights in this song. However, sonically I am not fond of her music and feel like I should love it, but her vocals and production are so abrasive and loud and in your face that it stops being enjoyable. This isn't her most annoying song, but it's probably her most plodding and awkward. It has this same old love-fish piano that never evolved, it's just dun 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 throughout all the song, and Lizzo's performance is all over the place. It feels super unpolished and rushed. I'm not surprised it wasn't on the album originally. It only got big because of TikTok, because of course. And why wasn't Juice the hit single? I don't even love it that much, but it was released right at the beginning of the year and everyone loved it. I was prepared for it to be huge, but it went nowhere. Yet this 2-year-old song gets to be a top 10 single. I'm so confused. This is just like a worse, cheekier version of High Hopes that doesn't sound as good and doesn't really have a structure. I'm not going to pretend that High Hopes didn't sound synthetic at times, but it sounded more natural than this. I probably only don't like this song because it has the Macarena's hi. I really hope that now that they're mainstream again, they don't become less interesting and generic. They had a good thing going. And again, there's a much better single that could have been a hit, but whatever. I know Post Malone is like one of the biggest artists out right now, but one of the biggest hits of the year has been in the top 20 for the whole year. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's fine, but it's the least interesting Post Malone's hit ever. I thought his appeal was being more moody and relaxed. What is this? Who wants to hear this? Also, I don't know why I downloaded the remix, but since Roddy Ricch and Tyga had nothing to this song, here you go. This is like the most okay #1 song of the decade. I'm pretty sure no one's been listening to this on their own because I heard it like 10 times on the radio and in malls just in the week I went to Texas. And like, no one's talking about it. Is it good? Is it bad? Who cares? It's a hit. I could see people putting it on their best list because it's a fun, catchy Portugal the Madness jam for the summer, but I can also see them putting it on the worst list because it's a bland western space that had no reason to go to #1 other than the novelty of a Jonas Brothers comeback. Super disposable.
I got hoes that I'm keeping in the dark.
It's a throwaway track that he dropped because his favorite soccer team or whatever won, who cares. Rick Ross had been getting on my good side, but he slows the momentum of this song so much. I'm just disappointed because their last collaboration was Lord Knows from Take Care, and that's like the best Drake song ever made, and this isn't even close in style or in quality or in substance. And that's super underwhelming and disappointing. So I'd like to make a formal apology. I called her previous single Me with Brendan Urie the blandest song ever made. And while Taylor and Brendan don't really work together, it's kind of a clunky team up. Well, it's kind of fun and happy. I'm sad it's flopping immediately so hard. And also this new song is way blander. Yeah, I know it's like one of the most discussed singles of the entire year. People are still on the fence on whether or not it's problematic, let alone good. But ever since it came out, they left me with no impression other than is she exploiting LGBT people for profit, or is she making a nice anthem for them? Both? Maybe? Is it awkward how it flips from her narrative to their narrative? Yeah, it is. Even the music video tonally shifts very harshly when the change happens. Are the lines cringy?
But you're taking shots at me like it's Patron. You mad? You could be glad. Cause shade never made anybody less gay.
Yeah, sure. Does it sound good? I guess. But it also sounds really familiar. I don't know, I feel like I've heard this song before, haven't I? Hey, wait a minute! This is a total ripoff of Old Town Road!
Huh? Packing the mail, it's gone. She like I smell cologne.
I like the baby finding out, but like other one-hit wonder rappers in the last 3 years, it seems like the rest of their catalog is pretty derivative from that one hit. Like I could listen to one of his songs and get pretty much the same basic idea. He's not versatile at all, and to be honest, this isn't even one of his best songs, not with this lame, clunky beat. Walker Texas Ranger is where it's at, baby. This is like the second most okay #1 song of the decade, but I can actually picture someone listening to this. It's just, it has been in my mind as the Spider-Verse song, and as good as that movie was, this song has outlasted it by a mile. Outside the context of the movie, it has very little to offer besides being overplayed to no end, and since Swae is by far doing all the heavy lifting. It is okay for the bit underwhelming. The beat's kind of lame. It's pretty lame, but Khalid's pretty neat, yeah. Also, I never realized how creepy Khalid is when he's happy.
I can't write one song that's not about you.
So, this became his biggest hit for a bit. Okay. Even though I'm all aboard the Shawn Mendes train, I completely forgot this song existed while writing this, so I guess that says a lot. It's very reminiscent of There's Nothing Holding Me Back from a couple years ago, which, going back to it really holds up. Probably would have stood out more if it didn't come out in 2017, one of the best years for the charts. If I Can Have You is very similar but lacks many elements from There's Nothing Holding Me Back that made that song good. It doesn't have the same amount of grit, it doesn't feel as urgent, it's much slower, not as catchy, and honestly, somewhat generic. I didn't love that drop and There's Nothing Holding Me Back. Wow, that's a long title to repeat many times, no wonder it didn't stick around much. But without it also sounds emptier. In some aspects the production is actually much better, but there's also this kind of terrible breakdown where the trumpets sound like they came straight out of a crappy keyboard. That being said,
Can't write one song that's not about you.
that is a great line. And it's very promising that Shawn Mendes hasn't released a major dud since Treat You Better, proving that he's one of the few artists who keeps delivering quality every single time, constantly. And that's very nice, it's still a good redemption story for the ages. I just wish this song was a little bit better, you know. But still, good stuff.
I'm no good at goodbyes. We're both acting insane, but you're stubborn to change.
Oh wow, finally, a Post Malone song with a music video. It's been ages. This is like the version of Better Now that doesn't completely suck ass. It's about him not being good at saying goodbyes. Hey, wait a minute. Sam Smith made a song about being too good at saying goodbyes. Are they lovers? Were they a thing? What's better, Pam Smith or Soast Malone? Okay, fine, I'll talk about this stupid Young Thug verse.
I'm trying to cut you, no knife.
He doesn't fit the topic or atmosphere at all with his Nicki Minaj Barbie doll lines and lyrics about cutting you and slicing you and dicing you, and he ruins the mood completely, honestly. And it's become clear that he's trying less and less with each verse. It's always like, first I start talking low-key because I have the dead pop appeal, and I start talking about some dumb stuff in a low-pitched voice, but then I go screaming in a high-pitched voice, and I have to prove everyone that I'm still fun. Also, unlike Better Now, where the outro is the only good part, here the outro kind of sucks. It ends too abruptly. I mean, I guess the line is, I'm no good at goodbyes, but I didn't think Post meant that he isn't good at singing the word goodbye. The first half of the song is just so good, but the second half doesn't really work, which is a shame.
I'm at a party I don't wanna be at, and I don't ever wear a suit and tie at.
I mean, of course. What, did you expect me to say that Justin Bieber is good at collaborations? That would be impossible. In fact, Ed Sheeran has an album right now which is full of collaborations that don't work at all. I think it would be a very interesting subject, like the first interesting subject that's come out ever since Sultan Road, which it's been a while. I think it would be a very interesting topic to talk about in a future video, but for now let's stick to one of the few songs that I like from the album, which is kind of a shame because it's the one everyone hates.
We at a party we don't wanna be at.
Let's not beat around the bush. Justin Bieber doesn't fit at all and he kind of ruins the song. For such a non-presence, he sticks out like a sore thumb, especially in this vocalizing at the end. Oh, haven't contributed much? Also the percussion straddle shape of you is bad. Kind of really bad. Other than that, this is pretty good actually. It's a really nice song. I especially love the melody behind the beat, and out of the 3 songs about antisocial awkwardness at parties from that album, it's the only one that sounds sincere and has a neat melody and groove behind it. I don't get why this is super vile and hated, especially compared to the pretty bad album that followed it up. It's good stuff, I don't know what to tell you.
Tell me how's it feel sitting up there.
Damn, y'all good? Seriously, this has been in the top 20 for like nearly a year too. Have there been that many breakups in that span of time, or is this more important than I gave him credit for? Anyway, this fucks. I think I called it bad, but it's actually pretty good. I've never even been in a serious relationship, and even I can admit that's a hook for the ages. The performance totally fits the tone, I especially love the watery beat. I guess I also have to mention the Use World guest verse, which is right in the middle of good and bad. On the one hand, he sounds awful and his lyrics are really corny. On the other, he doesn't stick out like a sore thumb like other collaborations on this list. He gives the song more of a balance, and I love the very end of his verse where he just...
This life's not fair, took advantage of.
Tell me how's it feel.
I mean, what can I tell you, that just sounds incredible.
I saw the light in a sunrise, sitting back in a 40 on the muddy riverside.
Blake Shelton made this song and it just throws me the fuck off. I mean, I don't immediately listen to a country song where the artist is singing about something interesting rather than beer, boobs and cars. That has some grit and doesn't sound like it's trying to be a trap song, and I cream my jeans, but I mean...
Well, the boys round here don't listen to the Beatles run old Bo Cephas through a jukebox needle.
It's Blake Shelton, this is incredible from him. And it's pretty neat on its own anyways, even though it feels pandering to both country traditionalists and the whole nation of the US, kind of. God's country, more like good country. Speaking of which, it's good, it's fun, I like it. I made like a whole half an hour video about it. Go check it out, it's a good video and you won't regret it. And when you're done with that, come back here and yes, I left out some pretty stuff. I might tackle it if it goes to #1 in a whole follow-up video, like an aftermath, a part 2. Because it's a very important song and it's a lot of things happen. I told you all that a lot of things would happen. So, but yeah, you should check it out. Anyways, it's getting fucking old. Down road.
I'ma take a horse to Southbury Road.
This fucking Young Thug Mason Ramsey remix is ass garbage. That doesn't work at all and that breaks the whole structure of the original remix. It gets the biggest bad collaboration award it could get. It's so bad. First of all, they heavily cut down Billy Ray Cyrus. Already a terrible sign. Second, you try to make a remix to another remix that been dominating the whole year. That's a horrible idea because it gets more difficult to disassociate it from the original, which is painfully obvious when you got Young Thug and Lil Nas awkwardly alternating in the hook and the mixing on their vocals doesn't match at all.
Ain't nobody tell me nothing.
You can't tell me, can't tell me.
Third, these new features are awful. They only got Young Thug because of that stupid album no one remembers that had some country influences and maybe revived the country trap fusion trend, but he doesn't fit here at all. I thought I liked Young Thug maybe because he put out a good record in 2016. He was unique and fun and such, but ever since then he's been proving how little he cares anymore. Between this, Goodbyes, that track from the Sheeran album, and even his own hit The London, we're definitely back in an era where his presence ruins the song he appears in. He's on autopilot right now. He sucks. He's somehow worse than the little kid they got who was a meme ages ago, and his performance isn't much better honestly.
Hold up, let me tell ya something.
Children singing in general, even the best ones are super hit or miss, and Mason Ramsey is definitely not one of the greats. He has the melody and his lines are kind of cool, but he still sounds like the Jolene kid. Maybe if he was on his own, I would be more forgiven, but Thugger really ruins the whole remix. Who's gonna listen to this more than once? And finally, this music video. It sucks. Just don't run this into the ground more than you have, please. There's better ways to get that record, like releasing the music video again for no reason. So anyways, here's Shawn Mendes.
I love it when you call me Señorita.
This is horny baiting at its finest and it totally works. It's honestly a much better Latin pop fusion than Havana, which was already pretty good. Shawn against that plucky guitar sounds so smooth for a Canadian. He has a better Latino voice that you would expect. Like, this makes sense for him to make, like Justin Timberlake's solo debut was also called Señorita. And also it's a good follow-up to I Know What You Did Last Summer. It is much better than that song. Or should I say, that song. Like, they were just kids there and now they are all grown up. It's very poetic and they have a lot of chemistry, even if Shawn is a much better vocalist. And who am I kidding, you just want to see that music video.
But friends don't know the way you taste, la la la.
Do I want to be Shawn Mendes or do I want to be with Shawn Mendes? This would be the hottest music video of the year if you could see what's happening. Also, I love how Shawn doesn't even sing the whole chorus because, you know, he's in a Señorita.
I love it when you call me Señorita.
I love it when you call me Señorita. It's like the most overtly sensual pop song to become a hit in a while, like
All along I've been coming for you.
I mean,
She loves you when I call for you.
did you hear that? So have you heard about this girl, Billie Eilish? This is one of the tightest hit songs I've heard in a while. It's probably one of her weaker songs by default. I just love her. This production is so good. The constant kick in, the slightly offbeat snaps, that sweet bass coupled with Billie's whispery multi-layer vocals. It's so simple yet so silky smooth. And that drop is just delicious. It's wonky and wobbly and it sounds super unique. It sounds so perfectly darky yet fun. Just like the type of music I can perfectly picture a teenager making for other teenagers to dance along to. Like, it's kind of obvious that she hasn't been pregnant at all. I know some people disagree and I can sort of see how it could work on ironically, but if anyone's actually using this song to be legitimately imposing, I don't know what to tell you. Like, she goes Duh. I actually saw a movie about some 12-year-old asshole that was murdering this whole town that ends with this song for no reason. It was like the funniest moment of all cinema because it didn't fit in the slightest. Speaking of stupid, pointless, and unfitting, there's this new Justin Bieber remix that everyone hated. Because it ruined a perfectly good song and it seemed like another try at being Alton Road. I mean, sure, she was his fan for a long time. And it's kind of like a passing of the torch. Like, Bieber was the big teen idol of 2009. Billie is the big teen idol of 2019. It's I get what this remix is out. I mean, I get what it's out, honestly. And I think it's glorious.
Gold teeth, my neck, my wrist is froze.
Honestly, at first I was on your side. I thought he didn't fit at all. Then I started liking this ironically for how bad of an idea in concept and execution it was. And now I think it's legitimately good. Bieber's voice is already at his best when he's whispering quiet, not when he's belting like a jackass. So he fits right in from the get-go. I honestly like how he sounds. Also, the original song is all about Billie posturing to some jackass who thinks he's so tough and macho. Now, I wonder who could fit that description perfectly.
If I was your boyfriend, I'd never let you go. I could take you places you ain't never been before.
It's kind of like somebody that I used to know in reverse. Also, Bieber fixes that honestly pretty bad on fitting outro by outliving a bunch of nonsense, making it more playful and less dry hard.
I guess I'm pretty glad that you're alone.
So at the end of the day, he isn't just white noise like Despacito or actively hinder the song like in I Don't Care and other collaborations he does. He actually improves the song, albeit unintentionally. Billie might have grabbed him out of admiration, but it turns out that his own incompetence helped make this work even better. Keep it up, Bibbs.
Look what you made me do. I was somebody new.
At the top 2 seasons in a row, this song is just so perfect. I just want to let it play in its entirety, not that YouTube will allow me to. It's a gorgeous duet that keeps me invested, sounds wonderful, and showcases the chemistry of these two completely different artists. I like Too Good at Goodbyes, but never let Sam Smith do ballads ever again. Doesn't hurt that they got a Fifth Harmony member that can actually sing. Awards all across the board is just a flawless collaboration. Anyways, I'm just bored. The score was at the beginning of the video. Go back to the beginning of the video if you care about that number, that fucking stupid number. I'm gonna put it in the description too. I mean, do you really care about scores in this thing? I mean, I don't. I mean, you saw how many bad and good songs there are. You can kind of make your own idea of how good or bad the season is. Can you? I mean, oh yeah. This is supposed to be the part where I just fake you out. Because it's like a summer ranking tradition, I fake you out with the number 1. But I kind of forgot to. And I don't care anymore. Number 1 is Sycamore, baby! Yeah, Sycamore! No, it's... I fake you out again. It's actually Mo Bamba. Mo Bamba is the number 1 song of the summer. Fuck this. Anyways, I am RGS and I RG love you. That's gonna be my farewell. That's gonna be my tradition. Like, Scott the Wall says, "Hey y'all, Scott here." I say, I RG love you. Okay, goodbye.
I'm with the gang, and it's gonna be a robbery. So tuck your chain, I'm a killer, girl, I'm sorry, but I can't change. We ain't aiming for your body, shots hit your brain. We come from poverty, man, we ain't have a thing. It's a lot of animosity, but